Okay, good afternoon. This is Brian Lawrence, and I'm calling this special emergency meeting of the Mount Diablo School Board to order here at 4 p.m. on April 2nd as my daughter walks through a quick roll call starting with Mrs. Mayo. Would you mind saying that again, Mrs. Mayo?
Good afternoon. Yes.
Okay, great. Ms. Mason? Ms. Mason, can you're here? Can we go off mute?
Austin, can you unmute her, or does she have to do that herself?
I keep unmuting and it goes back.
There you are. Okay.
Okay.
Ms. Mason's here. Ms. Cowan
Here.
and Ms. Durkee.
Here.
All right. So the board members are here. Dr. Martinez, I will turn it over to you.
Yes, thank you all for again meeting in this emergency meeting. What we received was some information regarding the need to have a resolution, and I believe everybody should have access to the resolution. It's number 1920-46. The resolution speaks towards essential government functions. As we know, as a school district, we have been identified as an essential service to provide education to our students. What we have now learned is that through a process of the continuance of a stay-at-home order and executive orders and concerns about sheltering in place, we believe that it is important and essential for us to designate public works projects as being part of our essential governmental functions. Again, what happens in the school district is that for many years or over some time, we have construction projects that are needed to provide essential services to students. If we don't have this resolution, then under the current declarations or resolutions that are there by the state, we are unable to continue with the building projects. What this resolution does, and I'll defer to our Associate General Counsel, Cesar Alvarado, and Melanie for clarifications, but it provides in essence that during this pandemic, where we do need to take precautions to support our contractors who are doing work and generally our employees who may be at some of these sites doing work, with the appropriate protocols for social distancing, physical distancing, and safety measures to ensure that they are protected. However, that we are able to continue with this work. Or else, again, it could be we would need to cease operations and not have any of these projects go on that we've already, in essence, are paying for. So Cesar, I'll ask him to step in and speak a little bit more and clarify, if you could, Cesar.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. We are proceeding for this emergency meeting pursuant to Governor March 12, 2020 Executive Order number 2520, which relaxes the notice and personal justice provisions of the Brown Act. We are also proceeding pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.5, which provides for emergency meetings in matters upon which prompt action is necessary due to the disruption or the threatened disruption of public facilities, including potential work stoppages. With, as Superintendent Dr. Martinez indicated, with the passage of the new and amended shelter in place order by the Contra Costa Health Department, as well as by multiple health departments, all construction projects are being are essentially prohibited from continuing. That means that we would immediately, all of our contractors are working on projects for the services of our students, as well as for the maintenance of the facilities, will not be able to provide absent an immediate resolution by the board designating uh, all of these projects that are ongoing and have been bid on and are currently in the process of being completed, designating those projects as part of our essential services. So in light of that requirement, and based upon the requirement and specific language in the order shelter in place that governing boards must designate the projects upon which that are essential for their services as part of their essential functions. In light of that language, we are here today to ask to present a resolution or proposed resolution doing that for a number of construction projects, as well as for implementing a number of requirements under the shelter in place, such as the social distancing and other provisions that are intended for the safety of both the individuals who are working and who are the contractors, their employees, and as well as any of their suppliers who may be essential, who are essential to the completion of the projects, and to go ahead and proceed with the implementation of those safety requirements required by the health department.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. And Austin, I may need some help from you. I apologize. I don't have in front of me what the, I know we have this board resolution. Do we have an item number, or should I just refer to it as, prior to the discussion, I'll see if there's a motion to bring forward the resolution. Perhaps we could just do it based on the resolution itself, which is
It's
19-20. Yep. Okay, so is there a motion to bring forward resolution number 19/20-46?
Question.
Yes.
Do we have to have public comment? That's included on the agenda.
We have indicated public comment. I have not checked to see if we were using the board meeting email as a way to do that. I don't know if we have had any public comment weigh in on that at this point.
So I can confirm that for the board email, which I'm looking at and Deborah has access to as well, we have not received any emails to board comments at.
Okay. Thank you for that confirmation. I just wanted us to be mindful of that.
Yep, thank you for that. And so prior to the vote, I at least have some questions, but I was wondering if someone would like to make a motion and then we can have discussion.
Let's see. I move that the board adopt resolution 1920-46 designating essential infrastructure within the Mount Diablo School District under the shelter in place designation by the state.
A second, Stoyan.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Mayo for the motion, and thank you, Ms. Durkee for the second. And board discussion.
I have a
Go ahead.
question.
Please.
So under the second whereas, there's a statement that this district closed its educational facilities and directed district students to engage in distance learning. I was just wondering if that's an accurate, do we direct students to do that? Because didn't we indicate it if it was not possible, or I don't know. I just want to make sure we're using the right word there.
So we never indicated that it was not possible for students to participate. That direction has come from the school principals to the students that, again, as we initiated the process, that there would be some level of expectation, while of course we are advancing the expected distance learning and what those protocols are, there is an expectation that they participate through our distance learning protocols.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Did you have a question?
Go ahead, I'll go after you.
All right. If we have further projects or this extends through the summer, do we have the ability to add further projects at a later date?
Cesar, can you speak to that, or Melanie?
Yes, we do have the ability to add additional projects. We have tried to be as comprehensive as possible with all ongoing projects, as well as those projects that are expected to come up for bid throughout the summer into the calendar year. There's also a provision within the proposed resolution itself that will designate the superintendent as being able to identify additional projects so as necessary, that may be essential as well for the safety of our students.
I have a question on Appendix A. There's first the project list and then the social distancing protocol. On the social distancing protocol, it looks like it's 3 pages long, but the first 2 pages look like they're exactly the same. Is it really a 2-page document?
So this document was taken directly from the sheltering in place order as it was attached to that particular order. As I reviewed it, it appears to me that these are recommended documents to be provided to the contractors, and that in fact the first 2 pages are duplicates. The first and second pages. Now there are optional parts as well as there are required parts, and it ultimately depends on what the type of project it is, as what the requirements would be needed to implement the safety protocols.
I have a question, but I'll defer if other board members have questions or comments. So my, I guess, question / comment would just be to Dr. Martinez that, looking at this, so I want to make sure that we can continue the essential work of the district and that you have the latitude to do so. I would just request that we continually evaluate this list and understand if any of these projects can be pushed back safely, or to continue to monitor it, and that we certainly, whether it be through the superintendent or if we need another emergency meeting, that we continue to view it, because even with all safety precautions, I do have concerns about us in any way facilitating having people still out working and doing things like that. So it is that I recognize that we have that balance of maintaining and improving our facilities for students, but also balancing the safety of the workers themselves. So if we can, I guess that's, I don't necessarily even have a question there, but that's just my concern around this.
I think it's a significant concern, however, and I appreciate that, because while this is the comprehensive list of the things that we have in the queue set up to go, we will be, and again, this is where our assistant director right now, Melanie Kozlow, was working with our construction managers, working to ensure they may still decide we cannot do something at this point in time. We may decide, depending on, again, how the public could be impacted by these different things, we may not move forward with some of these. This just gives us the latitude and the scope of approval should we need to move forward. But again, each one will get a critical review to determine, is this something that is best suited for holding for a few weeks or a month, or we really do need to continue on this one and minimize that. But yes, so we'll be going through that process to really review rather than just keep working everywhere.
Is this list in a priority manner or in a chronological manner, or is there any rhyme or reason to the list?
And Melanie, if you could give us some guidance here.
It's like Melanie's, there she is.
I was having problems unmuting. So the priority, some of the projects are prioritized. The first several projects are construction that's actually currently underway. That would be the food and nutrition service warehouse is underway. Work at Mount Diablo High School is underway. About half the district is under contract and working for our energy management project. And I can't remember the last one, but so those are the ones that are currently underway.
Okay.
And then below that are projects that have either already been board approved for this coming summer and items that are coming forth in the next 2 board meetings for approval. So it's everything that we have in queue for this coming summer.
Okay. And certainly like the warehouse, and that sure would come in handy right about now if we had that. I know that our food facilities personnel would have, I think it's reinforced the need for it. And so understanding that, I guess my request would be things like refurbishing a gym floor and anything that we could push, that we potentially do so.
One of the things that we have the opportunity to do if we decide to push a maintenance or a routine maintenance item like that is we could push it off towards potentially Thanksgiving break, winter break, assuming we don't do them this summer. It's typically a task that we do over summer just because of the dry time and all of that, but it's not a necessity as far as if the students would be able to use it for, the fall. We could definitely look at pushing that a little bit.
And I certainly appreciate that typically we do these things when students are not there, but I think this is such an atypical time and situation that if it does need to be done and so students don't have the use of some facilities that they normally would or things like that, I think frankly it'll be such a relief if students are back at school in the fall and back on campus, that if there's some inconveniences around that, balancing that against worker safety, I think that would be a very good trade-off if we needed to do some things even in September or October, if there was some overlap, at least for my personal opinion. I leave it to other board members and the superintendent to weigh in.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Thank you for bringing that up.
Okay. Other questions or comments? All right, with that, I will call for the vote then. We'll start Ms. Cound,
Yes.
Ms. Mayo,
Yes.
Ms. Mason,
Yes.
Ms. Durkee,
Yes.
and I also vote yes. Motion passes 5-0. With that, Dr. Martinez, do I have any other items?
That's the only item that we have that we agendized for this emergency meeting. What I would say is that, again, we'll be getting some information out to our public a little bit later today. We have our next regularly scheduled meeting for April 13th, which will be, a level of virtual work. Our team is working to see what kind of expanded opportunities we'll have for participation in that meeting. So again, we'll be looking for information coming out about that early next week.
Great. Thank you for that. Stay safe, everyone. And with that, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.